2022 was rough on Acura as well as most automakers, but they dropped to a nearly 3-decade low. In 2023, will we see a recovery for Acura, or will they continue to slide like competitor Infiniti? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you love Acura and you want to see them recover back to full strength, make sure to smash the like button and also make sure you're subscribed, because I'll give you guys hands-on impressions of the Acura Integra Type S that is coming this summer. Today we're going to talk about where the company stands right now, and we'll also look a little bit further down the road to see if there's enough product and excitement coming for Acura to revive the Japanese brand. Pretty much made in America, right? So I was inspired to make this video today due to the news coming out of Reuters. We knew Honda was pulling Acura from China, but now it is official. They have ended production of Acura models in China. It never took off there for the most part. If we go to the bottom, GAC Honda started producing Acuras in 2016. Only sold about 6,500 of them in the country in 2021. Down 45% from the previous year. And Honda does fairly well in China, but its upscale brand Acura just could not get any sort of crumbs from the world's largest auto market. And then we look at the sales this year. Acura sold 102,000 units, down 35%. Surprisingly, much more on their SUVs, which is not good because we know this market is an SUV market, but down 35%. Now, if we go to Acura's Wikipedia and look at all the sales, the last time that they sold less than 102,000 units, 2009 was close with the financial collapse. We have to go all the way back to 1995, where they only sold 97,000 units. So about 27 years was the last time Acura had performed so poorly. Acura has new products. The new MDX, or cash cow, is excellent. And the new Integra is also a great entry-level premium sports car, practical as well, being a hatchback. So why are they struggling to produce the vehicles? It all comes from the supply shortage. And surprisingly, Acura and Honda are doing some of the worst in terms of managing this situation. If we go to automotive news and look at the manufacturers that did the worst in 2022 for sales, well, Buick's up there is doing terrible, but the rest of General Motors was actually up 2.5%. So if we look at Acura and Honda, though, Acura down 35%, Honda down nearly 33%. As a total, they're down 33%. Is there any other brand in here, or should I say mass market brand, that saw that sort of dive? Nissan at about 25%, and really no one else comes close. So Honda and Nissan are struggling the worst to keep up with the supply chain issues. And is 2023 going to see recovery? Well, I think largely it will for most manufacturers. Will it for Honda? Obviously, we have to wait the entire year. But Automotive News is saying 2.7 million vehicles are cut already from the forecast in 2023 due to the global semiconductor shortage. And Honda's fed up. They know that this is hurting their bottom line, hurting the profitability of their company, and also the longevity of their company. If they can't get the products into customers' hands, they're going to go elsewhere. And the news coming out from Japan from late 2022 is saying Honda is considering ways to cut supply chain risks. And sources are saying Honda and Acura are hoping to make vehicles outside of China with as little Chinese parts as possible, so this never happens again. With a series of production supply impacts due to multiple factors, including the Shanghai lockdown, we are considering various ways to hedge supply chain risks. However, we are not specifically considering a scenario of decoupling in China, the company said. Of course, they have to be careful what they say because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds, that is China, where they produce the majority of these microchips and other parts for these vehicles. So Acura has a little highlight sheet here for 2022, also looking into 2023 a little bit. They're saying that they finished December with the best sales since April, so things hopefully are turning around a little bit for them there. And they have more than 3.5 times more inventory compared to the start of 2022. I made a video at the start of 2022 that things looked pretty bad for Acura. All new Integra sales remain strong with third straight month over 2,100 units. I think they could actually sell more than that if they have the supply, but you got to remember it's also based on the Civic. And if we look down at the Civic sales are down 50% compared to last year. They can't produce the Civic in volume. That's hurting the brand massively. MDX tops 5,000 units in December. It's the second best month of 2022 and the fourth consecutive month over 4,000 units. And RDX has the best month since April. Even though the RDX had its best month since April, it was still down 32% compared to last December, or December 2021, I should say. The MDX still is down 7% compared to last December. And if you look at the total year, RDX down 56%. That is going to absolutely destroy brand loyalty. And MDX down to 22%. Looking at ILX down 54% because that car's discontinued. But if you look, the ILX also had more units in 2021 than the Integra had in 2022. But if you add the ILX to the Integra, it's about 19,000 units, which is an improvement over last year when they sold about 14,000 units of their entry level sedan hatchback thing. NSX, rest in peace. RL, I saw an RL on the way to taking my kids to school today, had super handling all-wheel drive. It was in black. Anyways, TLX also down about 56%, the same as the RDX. So they probably have about the same amount of parts, or should I say the same type of parts in order to make those vehicles. They're just suffering nearly identically. And I don't think that's a coincidence. If you look at TLX for the month of December, down 25%. But the recovery is maybe on the wall. If we look at TLX being down 25%, it's better than the 56% that it was down on the year. MDX down 7%, better than the 23%. And then the RDX minus 32%, better than the 57% down. And we do have new products coming for Acura, but the question is, does it even matter until they get the supply chain situated? Probably not. Priority number one for Honda and Acura is to sort out their supply chain to get products to the customer. But of course, they have to come out with new models just like anyone else. So what do we have coming down the hatch? Well, we have the new Integra Type S coming this summer. It'll take the 2-liter turbo that we see in the Type R, 315 horsepower or so, 6-speed manual only. It would be nice to have like the 10-speed auto to it to give customers an option. Just don't think it's going to happen. It'd be great to have super handling all-wheel drive to differentiate itself from the Type R. Not going to happen. It'll be an upscale Type R with more amenities and a different styling and a higher price tag, more than likely. It could be slightly higher volume than the Type R because it doesn't need to go to Japan to be essentially assembled in Japan. It can all be assembled here in North America. So that should lend this vehicle to have a much higher production volume, but it's still a niche vehicle. It's very low selling compared to, let's say, the A-Spec with the 1.5 liter, the base Integra. Also in 2023, production has begun of the TLX Type S PMC edition. Unfortunately, it's really expensive, and it's also on the TLX, which just isn't at volume production where it needs to be. What about the RDX? Can Acura revive the RDX before they redesign it? I don't think so. I think the redesign has to come probably in the second half of 2024, and we'll have a Type S finally. I don't think it'll be electrified at all. The ZDX will take that role. So if we look at the ZDX, this will be the first ever Acura electric vehicle, and I don't expect high volume on this either. I don't think this vehicle is going to help recover the brand in a volume sake, but it being built here in North America and be built with General Motors, we know General Motors is having a massive recovery positive on 2022 versus 2021. So the ZDX might be one of the easier vehicles in the Acura lineup to get, at least based off of today's numbers. This vehicle will be built in Spring Hill, Tennessee, alongside the Cadillac Lyriq. Unfortunately for the Lyriq at this point in time, the government's not qualifying it as a crossover. And so it's qualifying only for a $55,000 MSRP limit to be eligible for the tax credit instead of the $80,000 that most crossovers are. So this is also affecting like the Tesla Model Y and a lot of configurations as well. So yeah, I thought the ZDX would get the tax credit, but unlikely at this point in time unless something changes. Also, Acura has trademarked the ADX. We have nothing in the lineup that's ADX. We had the CDX in China, which was kind of like the HRV, just, rebadged and, different powertrains, different design, of course. So the ADX would be a great entry level vehicle based off the HRV here in America. And it would be awesome to have a Type S version of it. It'd be like a true hot SUV. We, of course, will have the Type S Integra, but an ADX would be so much fun, a little bit bigger, a little bit more practicality, and give it super handling all-wheel drive with the 2-liter. Give it the 10-speed auto. Now we're talking about a vehicle that might be more desirable to a lot of people than the 6-speed manual only Integra, front-wheel drive only Integra. Doesn't mean it's going to outperform the vehicle, which I don't think it will. It could be even lighter weight than, let's say, the TLX Type S that has the 3-liter turbo V6, and the RDX, when it gets redesigned in 2020, or should I say late 2024, should have the 3-liter turbo V6. Fingers crossed, we can hope. But it should. If the TLX has it, the RDX Type S should have the 3-liter turbo 10-speed auto, super handling all-wheel drive, and we can hope that there be an ADX model. Who knows when it would come? Probably 2025 at this point. Have a base 1.5 turbo and then the 2.0 turbo Type S to be a crossover version with all-wheel drive, like I said, of the Integra Type S. And unfortunately, Acura has stepped away from its hybridization. We used to have the sport hybrids on the RLX, the MDX, also in the NSX had, of course, its unique hybrid system, but Acura stepped away from that. They want to be fully battery electric. They haven't given it like a date, like let's say Lexus and a lot of other competitors have, of being fully battery electric by a certain point in time. And I'm happy that they haven't. I love Acura's engines. The 2-liter and the 3-liter turbos on their high-end models are fantastic. And what do you want from Acura? Do you want to see an entry-level crossover hot hatch ADX Type S? Do you just want the new RDX? But you're going to have to wait for the end of 2024, more than likely. Let me know what you want from the brand. Do you think they can recover in 2023? Do you think, on a bigger picture, Honda can recover in 2023 with their supplies? I think they will, but I still don't think it will be as good as 2021. But also you guys down below with your thoughts, your comments, your opinions. And like I said, hit the like button if you want Acura to be better than ever. We need to have great products for them. Acura needs to continue to be the brand that many people aspire to own if they have a Honda or just like Japanese vehicles in general, even though they're all made in North America at this point. But I got to cut myself off. Thank you guys. Have a great 2023, and I'll catch you in the next one.